last week, but I guess it shows you've got the ability to scrap one out and win one next week.
Yeah, and we even spoke about that through the week. The game got away from the Hurricanes last week, but it's not always going to be like that. And the boys probably waned a little bit of confidence through that second half, but they brought it back really well. Really impressed with just sticking to their guns. So, a lot of pressure applied at the breakdown for both teams, but we backed ourselves to find the space in attack. In previous years, we probably wouldn't have done that. So, we found a way to win tonight, and in the end, it was a good little victory. It blew out with that try at the end, but I think that's a good symbol of what we tried to do out there in terms of keep playing, and we got the points at the end.
That's a real statement from the scrum, given the level of opposition that you guys faced tonight.
Yeah, I think it's been a work in progress for a couple of years now, but Dan Palmer's been doing a fantastic job with the scrum, and we've just got really good scrummages. The front rowers are unbelievable scrummages, and then backing it up with the whole 8 working pretty hard in those scrums. Yeah, it was pleasing to see. I guess we had the rub of the green tonight in terms of the scrums. There's other areas that we need to work on.
Steve, how does it feel when you're getting over the top of a Waratah scrum like that, given the intense battles that you guys have had over the years?
Yeah, I think it's still funny listening to Bernie talking about scrums, but he's getting better at it. But I think any time you get a good result out of your scrum, as a tight forward, it's very pleasing. And tonight we worked hard in that area. The guys that came on really lifted us again in the scrum, and that's been the case for a while now. I think the depth in the front row has been really strong, and that's something we've worked hard on. So any time it works, you're happy, but we know it's a week-to-week proposition, the scrum and the set piece in general. Our line-out was a bit sloppy. I thought they put us under a bit of pressure there, so that's something we need to work on.
The start to the game with the 4 penalties, I think, in 4 minutes. What did you make of that? Was that just a byproduct of a fast-paced game, or what do you think?
I wouldn't read too much into it. It was pretty ferocious there at the start, as it always is. Both teams are up for it. So that's just the way it went. I wouldn't think there's anything more than that in it.
Talking about the scrums, Les and Alan are forming a pretty big. I know they were on different sides last week, but 2 good guys to have coming on in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. They're both quality players, and they've shown that in the first 2 weeks. And great to see Al and Scotty re-sign at the club for the long term, and they're going to be key players. And on the other side, I guess when you with the Waratahs losing Keps, I think with him gone, I think you realise how important he was to their team. So that's how important front rowers are, I suppose, and props, and you got to look after them and really bring them through. And I guess we're seeing a bit of that now with Al and Les.
Pumping the price up, front rowers. I like it.
Bernie, there was a lot of talk about the potential of the Brumbies before the season. The 2 rounds in, you've comprehensively outplayed the 2 teams that were in the playoffs last year. Do you try and get the players to ride this momentum, or do you want to keep a lid on things? How do you manage them psychologically from here on in?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't call tonight comprehensive. I think that was a real battle out there tonight. The score blew out last week certainly, and I think the performance from the boys was fairly comprehensive. It was one of the best performances I've seen this team. Well, definitely the best performance I've seen this team put on the paddock. But this week was a lot harder. It was a big battle out there. Started with the forwards. I think, like Squeak said, the challenge in that line-out was a lot greater this week than it was last week. And this is what you're going to find throughout the season. There's going to be various strengths of opposition teams, and we're certainly not getting ahead of ourselves. We know that we've had a really good pre-season. The boys put in a lot of work pre-Christmas, including those Wallaby players, and we've rolled into the season pretty well. But there's a lot of work to be done still.